Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief. Woohoo! It is Thursday. What is it? It's June 27th. Man, June's almost gone. 1 month until TRI Meetup 2019. People are going to be coming in from all over the world. So excited. I think we're even going to get somebody from Thailand coming in, if I'm not mistaken.
I know it's going to be incredible.
So today is Thursday. So actually what that means, and I think actually Alex just put him on screen. So you're on camera. Welcome. There's Julian.
Hello,
Morning,
everybody. Well, good afternoon for me, or night. It's 11 p.m. here. I took a nap today, so I'm feeling pretty good. I didn't go to the gym, unfortunately. I was supposed to. I put my workout shirt on, but I fell asleep. So I am human.
So we got the baby powder report all ready to go. Ooh, that's a nice big fancy screen you got in the background there.
Really?
Is that a screen?
Oh yeah, it's a TV. I don't really use it though.
Right.
What's TV? Does anybody watch TV anymore? I mostly use YouTube.
All right, and sort of out of character, well, not character, out of order, but nonetheless, it's always a pleasure to have the mayor of Vienna. And if I understand correctly, he's actually the chilled out mayor of Vienna now.
Yeah, I'm actually freezing to death right now, Brian. So.
Thanks to me. Okay, he's gonna have a cold the next time he's on here. Thanks, Brian. Anyway, good morning, sir. Nice to have you on the call. Alex is driving the bus as always, and when he does drive the bus, man, these things sure move smoothly. And actually, thought we actually got a daily brief recap under 10 minutes yesterday. So I hope you guys like that.
Yeah, that was great. I watched that. Thank you.
Oh, good. Excellent.
I love those. I watch the recaps. I can't watch every show, but I watch the recaps.
Well, what I do like about it is, it takes like a pretty good, hour or two to sort of do the research to be able to do one of those 10-minute summaries. Yeah. So this daily brief is sort of our research where we hash everything out, and then Alex and I can just put it together in a nice little package. I think that works really well. But thank you very much, Alex, for being my my right arm there. Couldn't do it without you. And actually, when Alex was away, I was just like totally lost. So it is still a work in progress. We're still trying to hash things out. And I do understand that we're having some questions about the daily brief write-ups. So maybe I'm going to have to add that to my itinerary. But the problem with Wednesday and Friday sessions is, I know Murat and Alex are both in the level 3 program. So it's literally like we jump right out of the daily brief and then right into class. So I can understand if they were a bit delayed with doing the write-ups. But everything, at TRI, this is our dev cycle. So we're still slowly working away on putting all the pieces together to give you guys just an absolutely awesome product here on a daily basis. And got to say, I'm super proud of how everybody has really come together and worked really nicely as a team here at TRI. I'm so proud of all of you guys. And hopefully I can show it in person when you're here in Vancouver at the end of July. So. All right, because today is Thursday, this is Julian's day to shine. Do you want to throw on a screen share or something jumping into you, or did you want to chat on camera for a bit?
I just wanted to show my face for a while.
Okay, you're a handsome guy.
I slept, so no.
Actually,
I want to do an update. I haven't done a. What's that? Go ahead.
I was just going to say, since you moved to Thailand, I have noticed you look a lot more comfortable in your skin. If that makes any sense. You look like you're a much happier person.
Thank you. It's true.
That's good.
I really like it.
Good.
The time zone sucks sometimes, but it doesn't bother me. I'm okay staying up most nights, and then like shops here don't open till like 10 a.m. the next day, so it actually works perfectly where I sleep late. So then I just wake up, go out, and then I eat like brunch for a semi-healthy brunch for like $2. Yeah. And then I go to the coffee shop and I get to work, unless I have something I have to take care of. So you know,
Yeah,
it's
and
good. It
if I
works.
understand correctly, tons and tons of customer support. I've been seeing you chatting up like every day. You got just a full docket. So,
Yeah, yeah. I think I have like 10 emails right now waiting on me that I need to do.
all right.
And yesterday I had a bunch, like so many that I answered them and then I just went to sleep. I didn't even, I still have to call. Again, this is like behind the scenes stuff. Sorry, we don't have to waste time with
Yeah,
this.
I just all I
So let
want to.
me.
Yeah, you want to jump in? You want to screen share?
Well, I
What are
want to
you
do
gonna
a quick site update
do? Okay, sure.
on like what we've been working on. I haven't done that in I think a couple weeks. So just to give a quick update to everybody, the big thing we're working on is marketing. We've got a lot of things in the works that we're looking at doing to not only give a better product to everybody here, but also give a better product to new people, help them start at TRI quicker. We've been noticing we're getting a lot of signups. We're running a 7-day free trial right now where you don't have to do PayPal or anything. We're noticing we're getting a lot of signups, but then people don't sign up to become a member. So we're working on figuring out why is that? What are we doing wrong? How can we make it easier for people? What do people want? So that's a big thing I've been focusing on. We had like a 3-hour marketing meeting yesterday. Of course, I'm always doing support. Also, I have some accounting I'm gonna have to do on the 30th, so I'll be doing that. Siorn is working away on the scanners and the algos, but he also has to do a lot of site update stuff. We're working on a lot of metrics behind the scene that we never really did before. So we're trying our best. We want to stay like this cool local thing, but at the same time, we've got to move up to the next level, which is monitoring site data and things like that to see what's going on with our members. What do they like? What do they don't like? What don't they like behind the scenes? So we're putting a lot of work in there and really focusing on it. We even turned Brian. You haven't seen this yet, but HN and I worked together a little bit. It was mostly HN though, who's our marketing guy. He turned the the story that you did about. I'm sure everyone that's taken level 1 has read it. It's the baby story where it's at the what is it called, Brian? Not releasing the beast from within. It's the other one.
The evolutionary process of all
Yes.
traders.
Yes. He turned it into an ebook.
Oh, that's cute.
So so we're gonna see about using that for new people to try to provide more incentive to like get started and understand how the process of trading works.
Yeah, and I gotta
But
say, anybody watching this later on, been teaching this program now for about 4 or 5 years, and it's extremely consistent. I know a lot of people join sites like this and are like, okay, I want to be a trader, rock and roll, but it takes a good year, maybe a year and a half. Even Ian, our monster leverage trader in crypto right now, just kicking ass. Somebody even asked him yesterday, wow, how long have you been trading? And he's like, well, about a year and a half. And, so it just goes to show if you see Ian posting in the lounge and stuff, he's actually a very typical sort of duration, how long it takes to really get this and kick ass in the market. So, yeah, if anything, I like that evolutionary process of trader kind of conversation. And it sucks that you have to remind the public that they're babies and that they have to sort of relearn how to walk and all that. But I got to tell you, 5 years I've been doing this with you guys now. It's pretty damn spot on. So do those paper trades like Grim wants you to do. 100 of them. All right. I'll shut up now. Sorry. A little bit of a rant there.
I have to hop and come back in. My Google Hangouts is freezing. So I'll be right back. Sorry.
Okay. Well, that was an interesting curveball. Okay, so while we wait for Julian to come back, I'll just do a quick little sort of overview of what I see with good old Bitcoin. I like to follow these higher time frame charts because I think this is a really sort of easy way for us to see the big picture. And what I noticed, and I was actually quite perplexed about how the market just sort of blew right through 38.2s, right through 50%. And I was sitting there yesterday going, what the hell is the plan? What's going on here? And then it sort of just dawned on me that, wow, if we blow right up into Mountain Man 61.8 and then get rejected, we actually might be forming an even bigger, massive harmonic pattern. So I've been mulling this over. Of course, we're going to have to watch to see how this plays out. But I got a sneaky suspicion, both, and, I even put a tweet to this effect, and everybody here at TRI should know this, should understand this. This shouldn't be like news to you. When you, even the level oneers, we talk about how, and Grim has been really driving this home with you guys, your current level oneers, how we often can use things like A, B, C, D extensions to paint levels where the market can push itself into higher time frame levels, like this Mountain Man level here, reload short zone, yada yada. And this becomes almost like two harmonic patterns sort of developing in unison. So I don't think it should have surprised anybody that we backed off. The violence of the back off, that surprised me a little bit. But really nothing shocking here. Disappointing because, of course, we all want Moon. We want Bitcoin to be $1 million, so we're all billionaires, right? But if anything, this almost brings me back to that sort of chop Vegas type market state. And we should just be aware. In fact, all the level oneers or level threeers just did this harmonic patterns. Believe it or not, I'm actually looking for now a nice 88.6 of this range, which would carve out sort of our X to A to B to C on this massive weekly harmonic, which is good because what I think might end up happening is we might end up just revisiting this trend line from the other side over here. And once we get into sort of, is there anything in particular that's supposed to happen around November 2020? Anybody have any idea? Is there anything that might happen? No, I don't think happening. Yeah, a big election coming, eh? So I could very easily see that Bitcoin might back off here and then one more hurrah into the big election unknown. What's going to happen? I could very easily see us finally complete this harmonic into that. Then also, too, we have to keep in mind, I've been hearing on CNBC only one word describing Bitcoin lately, and it kind of scares me a little bit considering what our longer term perception of what gold and commodity assets should be doing right about now is. I've been hearing everybody use the analogy digital gold. You never know what the hell's going to happen in this crazy world, but the rejection of the 61.8 level as violently as it happened really speaks pretty loudly to me. Now, if we drill down to lower time frames, I thought this was really interesting in that, we've been following both the bot trading model and the algo signaling model for a while now. Let's put this up to a 4-hour. And of course, we had our algo signals fire way back here off of this bot. That was hit. Algoers should just keep trailing stops. You notice higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and then we finally broke higher lows. And I find this interesting too because this is almost like deja vu, where in this bot, when its level was hit, profit taking, the comment that I put on the charts was, we often see the market zip past the bot level only to come back and just sort of play with it. And then new botters are told to, okay, hop off, take your profits. And then gee whiz, within a few $100, we're right back on the long side. They have a new setup that's working. And in essence, basically this was almost a repeat where botters were told to exit on this pump. This pump here created a divergence, of course, and then all hell started to break loose. And you can see this key low that was established off of this range right here was taken out. I showed you on the 1 hour chart. That was a fairly clean pullback. I like the idea with the bot, move stop to trailing and, well, bots, they're gone. But for the algo, definitely just moving stops up as new lows are being established. I suppose you could have moved your stop up below there, but conservative, boom, we're done. Now, this could, and you never know with this crazy market, the market will do any old damn thing it wants. This market could have come back. You notice this diamond, exactly the same as we had here. This market could have very easily come back, held these lows, started to consolidate 3 higher lows, and then we have another bot that fires. But as you can see, we've lost the lows of the diamond pattern. So that, unfortunately, to me means that this diamond has actually resolved bearishly. I thought it was really interesting, and this quite shocked me when I saw this. This, of course, is a higher time frame mountain man level that we showed you on that weekly chart. Wherever it is, right? That's that level right there. Doink. I thought this was really interesting. And those people that fancy themselves as traders, right? Where's Alex B? I know we have, well, Murad, I don't know whether you're quite there yet, but I'm just looking at the people in the lounge here who fancy themselves as traders. I thought this was really interesting in that this is that higher time frame mountain man level that, we know that the big boys are going to be interested in. And then the dump, and of course we could probably paint like inside bars. Was that a nice little sort of, fail? We already had the divergences and indicators coming in. And if I'm not mistaken, I think we also had an RSI div come in on that event too. Let's see. Yep. So, I mean, this is almost cliche. You notice that RSI here actually even made a cute little M on this event here, but it was in divergence. On this dump, of course, now we've totally confirmed that divergence. Fascinating how the counter trend rally, I believe, and notice that that was right through that Asian kill zone. I believe this was actually the level that set up the short trade for the pros. And, they let the market dump. They let the divergences come in. All right, we're going to just try and work our orders in reload zones. And notice, look how the market rallied right back up to that higher time frame mountain man level there and just stopped on a dime. Isn't that incredible? I mean, when I see that kind of stuff, it's just like, wow, you could totally see they set this trade up. And, this is our institutional session, that Asian kill zone. So this is where all the institutions did all their business, right? And basically they positioned themselves on the short side, letting the market confirm all the breakdown here, and the counter trend rally was their shorting window. Just, it's incredible when I see this stuff in hindsight. As you can see, we are forging lower highs and lower lows here. I suppose for the time being, 1, 2, 3. If we actually had this market bottom, but you can see we just lost the lows there, so that's off the table. But had we recaptured this trend line and then started to W again, we could start thinking about, continuation. But I just don't see it here. This looks extremely weak. And if we also too, we were kind of on that trend line test, we might have W'd out here on RSI, and away we go. I suppose if Julian does come back, we can talk a little bit. Now, keep in mind, this is an hourly chart, but hopefully you can see there's things like RSI trend lines. That's probably defines now the momentum trend. So this is going to take a while to both work its way back up into this trend line and then ultimately break it. And that might happen way down the road, because you can see we just M'd out here. So all in all, I think the bull has been put back into the box. Interesting too, as I'm just sort of scrolling through this, I also noticed something else that jumped out at me. Where's Alicia? We've got Colleen here. I'd love to use you as a guinea pig too. If I say the word Hogue, does anything jump out at you? Does anybody know where I'm going with this? We tried to accept outside of value. We came back down. We accepted into value. if we accept into value, now a big M, where are we likely to go? Down to the bottom of value. Isn't that incredible? There's another one. Do you see how this is like 80% rule, Colleen? We keep seeing this over and over and over and over and over and over and over. So, you know, if anything, this is an excellent sort of analogy of, you know, a trader's life. We don't actually really reinvent anything here on a daily basis. It's just business as usual. And rinse and repeat, right? I think your buddy Dav even said that. It was cute, and I actually put a tweet out to the effect, Dav tried to short this mountain man level, and keep in mind, this is like higher time frame, institutional player, you know, the big boys. You're basically, you know, crossing swords with Joey Diamond trying to hit these levels. He reported that he got stopped out, and frankly speaking, I actually highly respect him for that, because that's a sign of a professional that just says, you know, look at this trade didn't work, I'm out, I'm done. You know, next bus in 10 minutes. I think he even put that. So when I saw that in his tweet, I was kind of like, you know, the most important thing here is you tried. You identified the level. You definitely had the level correctly identified. I only think, you know, and of course, if he was still here, I would counsel him. I think the only difference is that you got to wait for the div to actually come in and then hunt that level, right? So, I think this was the trade right here if you wanted to short. Now, remember, you know, and the problem here, of course, is that, oh, man, this is just absolutely, you know, this to me is going to be the definition of Chop Vegas. This is going to be an absolute mess here for the next little while. And if this actually turns into a shooting star, maybe we even print red, you know, get ready, guys. We might have to easily. And, you know, the irony of it all is the 30 SMA on a weekly basis is sitting down here at like $5,000. So you could actually make the argument that really, you know, and you can see 30 SMA tag, 30 SMA tag, 30 SMA tag. This is why I like to use this 30 SMA. You know, I mean, we could very easily work our way right back down here. That wouldn't surprise me. Hopefully, everybody at TRI didn't catch the FOMO bug and just went rock, you know, and went, you know, full bore into here. Actually, and this should be really good journal information, and I'll use you, Colleen. I don't know whether we have any recent level oneers in the call here or not today. But Colleen, can you use Morales? Okay. Oh, hi, Joseph. I mean, did you feel how the market went absolutely FOMO, panic, moon, right? All we were doing is posting moon, 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 moon. You know, that should be incredibly powerful journal information. And, you know, I even posted in the lounge, you know, the fact that gold was rallying as hard as it was. And yet when we asked Thomas, was the public actually coming in on the long side? He was like, no. That meant that gold could go on further. But then notice that he reported my phone just started ringing off the hook, and then all of a sudden the whole damn market just stopped. And what I find fascinating, of course, is, you know, I think everybody should keep this, you know, in the back of your mind. Gold, yen, gold, yen, gold, yen. Write that down 100 times. Gold, yen, because I just see that in essence the yen stalled out and gold stalled out on literally the exact same day. And of course, that's exactly when Thomas was reporting to us that basically the public actually now was starting to FOMO buy. And of course, they were walking right into a trap. Okay, so that's some interesting filler for you on sort of my Bitcoin expectations. It looks like Julian's made it back on the call. Have you got a microphone, Mr. Julian? You are muted. And we used to have you used to have to connect twice. I don't know whether you still have to do that anymore.
Yeah, no, hello?
Hey, hello. Now we're seeing a blank screen. There you go.
Yeah, because, well, I'm sharing my screen, I think. I don't know. The whole computer is freezing. I don't know what's going on. It's still not working. I can't even move my charts right now.
All right.
I'm gonna try restarting. I'm sorry. I tried a couple other things. It doesn't seem to be working.
All right. Well, are you guys enjoying my banter here today? Hopefully, this is of some value to you. But I'm just, chatting away with the peeps. So, yeah, you take your time. We got about a half an hour left, so just be wary of that. Top of the hour, we should probably hop and go do the recap, and we'll try and do you another day. But thank you for trying. As I just said about Dav, the weird thing about life I find, and I always, talk to Liam about this and stuff, is I don't give a shit whether you actually succeed in life or not. I don't care. All I care about is that you try. That's what I tell Liam all the time, and it's what I, especially for like brand new people to trading, just try your best. That's the only thing that matters to me in my life. And hopefully all of you haven't gone through earth-shattering events, but you're going to find in life, and this is just, I guess, a bit of rhetoric here, but you're going to find in life that life sometimes just throws you these nastiest curveballs that you have no control over whatsoever. And you can build like long-term plans, 10, 20-year plans, and you see, put, and then all of a sudden life just comes along and just kicks you in the nuts. The only thing that you can really do at the end of the day, especially when you stand in front of your maker when it's all done, is just say, look, I tried my best. If you half-ass it, that's usually where trouble arises. So, it's the same thing with Sjord and Julian when I run this program. I don't really, draw the line, that's it, I'm done, I quit. All I just say is, like, are you guys trying? If you're trying, then okay, let's just keep on keeping on. Okay, so back to our conversation. Where should we go next? Man, that's the definition of a shooting star if I've ever seen one, eh? Holy crap. Look at that. That is absolutely insane. And actually, this should be a really good anecdote of the whole concept of support. Let's keep a close eye. Do you guys notice that 38.2 here on OKCoin forwards just so happens to be an interesting number? You see how that's 10,000 bananas? So in a weird sort of way, now we're probably going to see that $10,000 as and who can end that statement, right? It is, what do we call it? The 4 letters. Oh, Colleen, very good. So Colleen nailed it. All of you should nail this. Just remember this for the rest of your life. Markets love to move towards big, fat, round numbers. So I don't think it should surprise us that 38.2 is probably our stopping point here in the short term with this kind of market. And what we'll probably see happen, I mean, this is my hunch, but remember we talked a little bit about CME futures expiry tomorrow. My hunch is, this is a weekly chart. They're going to paint this probably negative, for the CME contract. And then through the weekend, we'll probably see some pullback back up, right, to let the 13 EMA sort of catch up here. I mean, we might, who knows, but we might carve out a big-ass empire here. And if that's the case, then we know that this thing's done. But my hunch is with the size of that wick, at the very least, you can see there's a little bit of a wick up top here coming into that level. Into that price range, if you will. My hunch is I doubt we just like fall right out of bed here. There'll probably be some back and forth here, but I think on balance we can basically see 38.2 is probably where support comes in. And ironically enough, we've often talked about this look left. If we actually look left and say, okay, where did the bull actually stop the last bear run? And that was right off of these lows here. So on OKCoin forwards, Jesus, that's like $7,400. So that is literally half of what the price was just yesterday. Isn't that incredible? So it just goes to show that, this actually, in my opinion, is fluff. It's all just fluffy. And really, where is your key supports? Down here at about 7,500. Where's resistance? That 1,400, and the midpoint just so happens to be the big fat round number. So my hunch is we're probably going to be doing something like this for the next little while, right? We'll come down into support. will just gyrate around 10,000. You know, of course, this is the forward, so we should probably, you know, go look at the cash market. And interestingly enough, there's good old Mr. Gann's 50% rule. But where is, interesting. So on this chart, notice 38.2 is 97.70. So that's interesting because basically that for the cash market is now that big fat round number where it can come down, it can tag the top of value. It, you know, my hunch usually is that we'll come down, we'll tag the top of value, and the market will ask, okay, do I really want to be in value? And then we'll see some sort of structure. And then if this is indeed a fail, then we'll lose the value high there. And we'll, you know, you can clearly see this big hole in the profile. And gee whiz, there's that conversation about Mr. Hoagland again and his damn 80% rule. So right now, I think we're in sort of, okay, is this still a bull? We have to test 38.2 just to find out whether this actually still is a bull. And frankly speaking, I don't get into the habit of predicting the future because I can absolutely tell you without a shadow of a doubt, there wasn't a single person that I was following on Twitter or anything that said that Bitcoin was going to rally up to 13,880 here. I didn't hear anybody calling that specific number. So I think it's a mug's game to try and like get into the market will do this, the market will do that. What we want to simply do is just sort of listen to the chalk marks. You know, if you had been sharp and you had been following trend turn signals, and, you know, if anything, this is such an awesome analogy of the 4-year business cycle. This is a weekly price chart, 200 period weekly. That's basically a little under 4 years. And, you know, I often used to use this moving average. I call this the business cycle moving average in the stock market in years gone by. So, you know, you can easily make the argument, of course, big fat W's, and there were divergences and stuff developing down here. We can make the argument there was lots and lots of sort of messages from the market that, hey, this thing wants to go up. But did it stall at 38.2? Did it stall at 50%? Did it stall at Mountain Man? You never know exactly what's going to happen. You just got to follow the chalk marks. I suppose before we run out of time, I did want to talk to you a little bit about sort of stock market-y kind of stuff. You know, I think we have a pretty good idea right now. Bitcoin right now is trapped between, you know, cash market 13 and change and 10,000. And on the forwards market, I think you're going to see a lot of sort of play around that big fat round number for the next little while as it sort of finds short-term support. Brief review of what I see happening in the broader market. I'm not quite sure what's going on with the crude feed here. I don't think that this is correct, because if that actually happened on the crude price, all hell would break loose. So that to me looks like it's a trading view issue. But, you know, this algo long signal that came in over here. Oh, I don't know, 4 hour. It still seems to be working away. Notice, oh, isn't that interesting? So notice on the 4 hour that disappeared. But, you know, if anything, we had our TRI SOF meeting the other day, and we're going to be working on how we can incorporate the short-term in-the-money option strategies to swing trade these markets, because this algo is producing some really, really interesting results. I think you could make the argument, especially if we pop up through the top here, you could probably move stops to below that level now on remaining positions. I would feel comfortable with that. And no new algo signals here, but basically that's just sort of working away. The markets I'm going to be watching really closely here. You know, we had a long euro. That still seems to be working away. But at the same time, too, we had a short stock market on both the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. Both of the positions are technically in the money, so it'll be really interesting to watch how that plays. But I got a funny feeling you can see the market's jumping up here and Bitcoin's coming off. So somebody must have said something publicly here to drive this. And crude, of course, is rallying a bit higher here. So, well, we'll keep an eye on this. But as I said, And if anybody, who is interested in options wants to approach this, we're looking for stock market proxies for each of these, which shouldn't be too hard. Good point, Murat. Maybe there's a lot of position squaring heading into that G20 event tomorrow. So that's a really good observation. This might have been sort of buy the rumor and then everything worked out, sell the news scenario on Bitcoin, for example. But we're going to come up with stock market proxies for all of these. Then we're going to go and find the in-the-money options that have short-dated expiry. So you're basically just buying that synthetic long position, and we're going to be working away on that. So that's sort of a project that the team is working on. Julian's back now. Let's see. Julian, you got a computer that's working now?
It's slow. It's slow, but I think I can do S&P and Bitcoin. Maybe we have enough time for. I'm really sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on and why. I've had this problem in the past, but it's never been this bad.
Something's gobbling up memory.
That's the crazy thing. I checked my task manager, and I'm only using like 2 gigabytes, and I have 16 gigabytes of RAM. I have no idea why it's so horribly slow. I tried restarting. I tried plugging it in. I tried running, having it run off my graphics processor. I have a GTX 1060 graphics processor. I mean, like, it's crazy that I'm having issues.
Okay, well, slow and steady wins a race. Okay, so we got about 20 minutes left here. So
yeah,
why don't you give it your best go, and we'll see how it goes.
Okay, so I'll just jump into S&P, and then I'll get into crypto. I'm not going to go into any like other stocks really or anything like that. Maybe I'll do one just to give my advice on something. So the stock market.
Remember, we don't give advice here. All the lawyers listening, we do not give advice.
my thoughts. My thoughts.
Okay, good.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump off your point that I heard you make about the G20. I do think the market's kind of on pause here to see. I think the big thing is to see what happens with Trump and China's president Xi. I think it's like Xi Jinping or something. How do you? I don't know how to pronounce his name, but Trump, USA president, and China's president, Xi Jinping. And I think that's going to have a big effect based on what happens between the two countries, because if it doesn't go well and Trump's like, oh, more tariffs, the market's probably going to go down, and if it does go well, it'll probably go up. I don't have any clear signals with the RSI at all. I have a slight, there was a bullish divergence here on this turn, but not on the RSI. That was a really hard trade to take, and I remember kicking myself about this weeks ago. I hated this V bottom that happened. It is forming a bit of a top, but it makes sense since we have this resistance. I wanted to look at the 4 hour really quick and see if we can get it to load. So you can see I have a breakdown on my RSI here, and now it's turning again to go possibly back up higher. It's giving very confusing signals. I don't have any trades. The one trade I did take was 2 days ago, where I felt like it was, I saw this breakdown on the 4 hour, right? Like this, I had it drawn, and I saw the breakdown, and I took 2 trades here. One of them, and a part of it is because of the options, so I want to show the options here. I also looked at the options. So we have expiry tomorrow, and you see you've got a huge amount of calls at 294. And then you've got a huge amount of puts at 285. You've also got puts at 290. I looked at the daily for the market, and I saw on the daily. Let me see if I can load that back up again. Come on, very slow, expensive computer. It's a Surface Book 2, in case anyone's curious. I saw that this daily was more powerful before it dropped. It was still bullish above the VIP line. I call this blue line the VIP line. So to me, the market is erring on the bullish side. So when I see that, I like to err a little bit more on the bullish side, where I expect a pullback below. I expected a pullback below the 294 when I looked at this 2 days ago, but I didn't expect it to go below 290. I thought, okay, it can go, high side 294, likely to 292. So I took 2 trades. I did a spread trade, 294, 296. That one is at full profit at this point. It was about 100% profit. The other one is a butterfly call spread. That's like the midpoint was 292. That one's over 100% now too. I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. It should go to 150 to 200%. So those are the two trades I took in the S&P this week, just to give you guys an idea and kind of what I was looking at. I don't know what's going to happen next year. I don't think we're going to see much action tomorrow. I think, you know, I think it's going to just sit and we're going to get a close around the 292 level. And then Monday, you know, or around, you know, 3 p.m. on Friday, something's going to happen. There could be, you know, depending on what happens in Japan with the G20 meeting, you know, maybe we could get a move, but I will be surprised if we get a huge move unless if the market doesn't have to. Unless if something catastrophic comes out, then the market will move. They don't have a choice. They're going to have to pay out those options, and there's going to be a move. But if it's kind of mellow, then they're going to try to keep it in that 292 area to maximize the profits. And when I say they, I mean the market makers. I go over this every week. You guys that watch regularly probably know. I probably sound like a broken record at this point.
Well, that's good.
Those are my main.
That's exactly what we're supposed to sound like, right? Same message, day in, day out. Nothing changes.
Yeah.
So that's good. Broken record is good.
Okay, thank you.
And actually, I like that because I was sitting looking. I don't know whether you were back yet, but I was sitting looking at, like, you know, this S&P algo short signal, and just conjecturing what's their plan. What's their plan? You know, we can clearly see lower highs and lower lows. I don't have any reason to be overly bullish just as of yet, but understanding, number one, we're going to probably have a bunch of position squaring heading into that meeting. And then number two, the very noticeable sort of pin level on the S&P options. It makes perfect sense that they're just basically, they're probably in like parking mode right now. Where they don't really want the market to go too much higher, so those calls expire worthless. They don't want the market to go too much lower, so all the puts expire worthless. So excellent. Exactly. And actually, you know, that's beautiful because, you know, like Murad says, well, you know, G20 is coming up, reminded me. You talk about options pin, reminded me, and now actually I have a much clearer sort of image of what's going on here in the market. So, you know, this is where I think, I don't know whether we were recording or not, but I had said earlier, it's actually a really good opportunity if we do this hour-long daily brief, that it sort of summarizes all these, and then Alex and I can go do the 10-minute summary and have a pretty crisp message that we can send in a very short period of time. So excellent work, sir. And, you know, broken records are good.
Okay, thank you. And sorry again, guys, for the technical issues. I'm going to try to figure it out.
Broken computers are not good.
Yeah, you would think like a top of the line computer that was like over $2,000 wouldn't have these issues, but every week
you do.
Maybe
it might be an idea, you know, and maybe we can talk about this later. But maybe take screenshots of a few of the markets you want to talk about, and then you don't have to worry about, you know, you're just looking at images.
Yeah, no, I thought about that. It's just I like showing the chart. I like moving around. I like changing the time frames. I'm gonna look into it this week to try to fix this problem. There's got to be a reason behind it. I've never run into a computer problem that I haven't been able to fix. I wouldn't be much of a computer engineer if I couldn't fix these problems.
All right, so good. And you got 15 minutes here, so just relax, take your time. There's no hurry. Just enjoy yourself. Colleen, are you enjoying yourself today? I always like to check in on Colleen. Okay, I'll go back on mute. Tell us what's on your mind.
Okay, so I wanted to go over one other thing and share a little story. You know, last week I shared my freak out I had with the spread contract. If anybody didn't see it, you can go back to last Thursday and watch.
Yeah, we're not even talking about Beyond Meat anymore. What that story's like years old now. Beyond what?
What is that? Oh, you know, that's good you remind me. I should look at that. But first let me, you know, let's look at Beyond Meat really quick. Let's look.
Now I derailed him. Uh-oh.
Oh, all right. Let's look at this really quick. Where is it? Oh, wow. It's still at 160. That's crazy. I would have thought it would have dropped by now. Ooh,
well, this is
a juicy short. Wait a second here. Let's go to the 1 hour. I want to see the 1 hour chart.
We mentioned it for you.
Yeah, thank you. Let's do it live. Let's look at this. So I like this one.
You like big butts?
No, what?
I don't know.
That's inappropriate. There's women
Not
watching
really.
this.
I didn't say whether they were men or
That's
women.
oh my god.
All right, I'll go back on mute. Sorry.
And nobody start with the ladyboy jokes. I don't want to hear it. Okay, so I like this actually from a short perspective. Let me one more thing. You know, it's not a bad. I mean, you could set a tight stop. My computer's going slower again. Okay, so like that, and you know, you could set. Let me see if I can try, but it's really freezing here. Short position. Set something like this, and just go to the gap fill level. You know, short it at the top of the range here. You know, and I bet those option premiums have come way down. They were really high before. I would set my stop like right here, right above the highs at like 180 or so, and then put a target at 100. Let's see, okay, 100 target. Is that 100? That's not 100. Man, it's hard to do this when your computer doesn't really work. Okay, so that's a risk reward of 3.5 around there. Not a bad trade in my opinion. You know, the RSI is trending down. We're a little bit above. I know there's no VIP line, but it would be right here. We're a little bit above it, but I think it needs to fill that gap. I think right now it's just sitting there to let the options expire. I bet there's tons of people that bought weekly options that are just, you know, sitting there getting killed by the IV curve that's getting destroyed. I wonder if we can even look at it on Apricot really quick. Yeah, I can't even. This doesn't even work. Nothing's working. Is it? It's BYND. I can't. BYND. Okay, let's see if we even get an options graph here. Is it gonna give me one? Yep. Okay. So you can see there's tons of calls above 150. 150, 160. Look at them all. 170, 160. So them putting it. I mean, you got a bunch of puts here too at 150. So it wouldn't surprise me if, you know, we move down here to 150 for the close on Friday. That wouldn't surprise me at all. But just by sitting here for a week, it's gonna destroy most of these. These calls all got destroyed. These puts all destroyed. I bet if we look at, if we go to the week
we
after,
got
I bet
about 10 minutes left here. So,
okay.
You know, this is an interesting study. What I would say is we have to figure out what the average right price of those calls are. I did notice.
Okay, all right. So the point is that it looks like a good short to me. I like it from as a short opportunity. Idea. But if you looked at options, I would avoid most options that they probably still have a decently high IV. And I was just explaining why it's kind of sitting here still, in my opinion, and not moving, even though the RSI is trending down. Let me go to Riot really quick. Riot is a like blockchain company or something. People were posting about it in the lounge before, and I bought it down here at around 260. And when Bitcoin took off, Riot took off. But I thought yesterday I was thinking Bitcoin's gone too far too fast, and I even brought it up to Brian and Sjoern, and we had a whole team meeting about it and everything. And you know, we actually made some good trades on the back end ourselves with some personal portfolios the three of us had. But I was like, wait a second, I have Riot and I have this other stock, DPW. They're both crypto connected, and they go up and down based on the crypto price. That's not good. I own Bitcoin and I own other crypto, and in my stock account, I own crypto stuff. I'm like, whoa, I'm way over leveraged with crypto. And it looks like it might be, you know, I mean, maybe I got a little bit lucky, I think, but I felt like crypto was going to turn yesterday. And I sold both Riot and DPW at these highs right up here at about 360, 370. So I got out of both of those. But I just want to share with you guys that you got to be careful when you get into these crypto stocks in the market. If you already are trading Bitcoin and XRP and LTC and all these other cryptos, because these stocks are just proxies for the crypto market. So if you've got 2 or 3 of these, and then you've got 10 cryptocurrencies and that's all you have, then you're basically 100% long crypto. You're not diversified. You're not like 5% this, 5% that, 5% this. I mean, technically you are by the name, but you got to look at the correlation, and you have to look at different markets, and don't maybe okay, 10%, 15%, 20% in one specific sector, but don't put everything in one sector, because that sector moves. All those sector stocks and cryptocurrencies move together. Maybe not exactly. Maybe one will go down 20% or up 20%, and the other one will only go 10%. But they're still going to move in the same direction for the most part, especially when you observe the correlation, like I did with DPW and Riot next to Bitcoin. There was a huge correlation. So I'm like,
and I took some profits on a couple of the crypto proxies that I have on the books. And, I think the bottom line here, everybody, is make hay while the sun's shining. We get sucked into this sort of thinking like, oh, it's never going to end. It's just going to keep going straight up. I don't want to sell now. And that's dangerous. And you're absolutely right. The whole crypto market went into a euphoric blow off top. Like, this is one of the little names that I had. And you got to force yourself to be a seller and take profits into these events. You have to. That's why we have sort of, make sure to sell half on a double, have those open orders working. Because when the whole market goes up, and your point about crypto correlation with these stocks, I actually think that one of the signs that we were nearing the end of the move was that the crypto stocks finally started to take off. And that was, the public coming in and buying the end of the move. So, excellent point.
Yeah.
And what's fascinating on that screen is I can see divergence all over the place. I mean,
I was seeing it yesterday.
That's an hourly chart, and your RSI, it's double smiling at us. That's just nasty. And look at that beautiful stochastic divergence. Wow.
Yep.
We were just, Raf was doing the harmonics presentation yesterday, and really, really great conversation about stochastics yesterday. So anyway, the point of the matter here is you booked some profits. Way to go. Nicely done. You're on the right side of the trade. And I wanted to mention this to everybody, and this is one thing I really like about Julian. Usually I'm like a reactionary guy. I want to see the market rally. Then I want to see the 38.2 pullback. Then I want to see an M. I want to see the market smiling at us. I want to see divergence. But one thing I absolutely love about Julian is he has sort of this sixth sense that as the market's going face rip up, he actually has the acumen to step in and go, okay, we got to start liquidating. He tried to get me to do this through the 2017 blow off top in Bitcoin, and I resisted it. And, in hindsight being 2020, he was definitely spot on. And, yesterday's trade here, he encouraged our team, hey, we should be selling into this rally here on Bitcoin. Things have gone a little bit nuts. Brilliant move. And here on his Riot, same sort of thing. He had the balls just to step in and say, okay, the market's getting nuts out of the bullish upside. I got to start lightening up. So, congratulations to you, and maybe just throw up your DPW chart here, because I think it's an even more dramatic example where, these penny stocks, they go up and woohoo party, but they can come crashing back down to earth just as quick.
This one's so crazy.
So, nice trades, nicely done. And I want you to journal that. I'll even journal that I've noticed this in you, that when these markets start going parabolic, you actually have a sort of sixth sense about you that, hey, we got to be doing something here. Don't wait for the market to break and then get out. We should be lightening up. So congratulations. Nice trade. Nice read. I was very impressed with that.
Thank you. Okay, so without further ado, I guess I should jump into Bitcoin. We only got 4 minutes left here. I wanted to share. Let me go to the daily chart really quick, and then we'll work our way down, and I'll share what happened and what I think is happening next. Okay, so here's our big daily uptrend. I don't know why I don't have it anymore, but here's our big. This is the one I tried to draw here before, and I noticed, before this rally up, I got a breakdown here, and this is like this, and then we had a break up here. But the overall long-term bullish trend broke down already back in May last month, and then I got out. I got out here because I thought it was going to move down lower, and I didn't get back in until I think we broke here, like 9,000. I got back in. And I went 100% long here at this breakout. I was like, okay, I'm not going to miss this move again because I missed part of the 5,000 to 7,000 move. And then I just put everything into this one. And I was long. But at the same time, I was cautiously long because I knew that this longer daily trend had broken down. And I didn't know if that meant, okay, this is just going to be a dead cat bounce or something. And it's just going to suck the public in, and then we're gonna head back lower to 5,000 or something. I don't know what's going to happen, but I knew that I didn't want to miss the move. So that's my first thing. My next thing is that we broke down on the daily. I'm gonna go to the lower time frames now. I just wanted to show you that really quick, and I wanted to show you that we yesterday were in the perfect shorting window. Where's my little? I always have trouble finding this. This happened last week too. Although at least my computer is moving a little faster. Where is the little shape? Right here? Rectangle. There we go. We were in the perfect shorting window here. Mountain Man. Like this. Up to 78.6. And that's when I saw we were in that window, I'm like, oh, I gotta start really paying attention. And that's when I started looking at lower time frames because of this location tag, the 61.8, and the fact that the RSI was all the way up here. I don't like when it gets to be this high. It often means there's going to be a pause of some kind. You'll see here, it kind of paused, and then we did get a higher move, but it was on a divergence. So that's when I was like, okay, got to look at lower time frames. And I went to the 4-hour first, and I looked at the 4-hour. Hopefully it'll load. And I was like, okay, it doesn't look too bad here. And then I was like, okay, let me look at the 1-hour. And then I went to the 1-hour chart because something it didn't feel right. And I had too many people like starting to talk about Bitcoin the past 2 days. People that I talked to, so I put a lot of factors together. It's not just what's shown in this chart. I was seeing people that I know that don't trade Bitcoin starting to really talk about Bitcoin the past 3 or 4 days. And that's when I started to get worried. I'm like, wait a second. I talked to these people 2 months ago and they didn't care about Bitcoin at all. They didn't want to hear it. And now one of them just went and bought like, how much did he buy? He bought like a half a Bitcoin or something. So that's when I was like, okay, this is crazy. And then I looked at the 1-hour, and the 1-hour is where I saw, oh crap, this is going to break down. And this is the line I drew, and I said, okay, if we get a breakdown here, I'm getting out on the rebound. And that's exactly what happened. We broke down. I had an alert go off, and then I was like, okay, wait for the rebound, get out. And so I waited for the rebound. I drew a fib, and I wanted to get out of I think it was the 0.618 of the retrace of this move. Now, if I was wanting to like have the stress of doing a leverage account, it would have been a perfect shorting opportunity here too. But I didn't do that. I've kind of decided I don't want to do leverage trading, period. It's just stressful for me. Hold on, let me delete. And there was also this divergence being put in here on the 1-hour. If you see this, it was before the breakdown. But this was when I saw this divergence here. This is when I talked to Brian and Sion, and I was like, look, hey guys, we should maybe consider getting out of this. It doesn't look good to me, and we did, and it was great, and we saved, and we all saved a lot of money. So I'm trying to draw the fibs here. Sorry, guys.
Well, it's top of the hour. If anything, I think that's probably an excellent segue for us to slide out of here today. Closing thoughts?
Well, let me just finish the fib and just to show how I exited at here's the 0.618. So I got
while
out
you
at
were
12.
gone, I showed everybody that. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible how that thing
It's perfect.
Yeah. I mean, it was textbook. And the freaky thing is that counter trend rally was a reload zone, but that was the Mountain Man level off of I don't know, I think it was Stamp.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Anyway,
just an absolute brilliant institutional setup there.
it was perfect. It was so perfect.
And actually,
I'm
looking at your
glad they did it.
RSI study, that is super cool because what I see is the break, which confirms the divergence. And then notice, everybody, how the market that counter trend rally came right up to his VIP line and just stopped on a dime.
Yep.
You know, so that failure at the VIP line basically said, look, I'm done.
Yep.
So very, very powerful stuff. Can't wait till we get that RSI module on the course material.
Yes.
Okay, everybody. Closing thoughts. Anything else you want to add just in closing here? We are past the top of the hour. We want to try and keep it to an hour.
Watch Bitcoin on the hourly chart.
We just M'd out again there. Look at the M in your RSI, and is that OBV down at the bottom there?
Yep. Yes, OBV here.
M's are not friendly, right? They're a pain in the butt. So until we stop seeing M's and we start seeing W's, I think everybody's got to just cool their jets.
Yeah, I'm watching this MACD closely, this histogram here. I want to see if it stops soon here or if we go further. I really, because sometimes this little histogram gives a different signal from everything else, and it saves you. Especially since we're at this resistance level. So I'm curious to see what happens here. We might. I wouldn't be surprised though if we go down to the 50%. This is the 50% of the entire Bitcoin universe since the beginning of time. So a move down here wouldn't be a huge surprise.
And you're starting to print white candles now. That means oversold, eh?
Yeah, that's starting to mean oversold. So ideally, we'll print white candles, and then once we stop printing the white candles, we'll do the dark red one, and then we should do another little white one possibly, and then that's your divergence put in, and then you can start hunting longs again.
For the broader audience, I can see just like off hourly charts, Willie is approaching stupidity. So I don't think it really makes a heck of a lot of sense to panic dump here. But at the same time,
if you're still long, if you're still long, I wouldn't get out. If the time to get out was above 12,000. I wouldn't. I would just hold.
Yeah. Okay. Why don't we leave it at that for today? Thank you for continuing to work on the computer and do a bit of a presentation for us. Totally awesome. Totally appreciate it. Call this the augmented baby powder report. We only got a half talk. One cheek was done today. Maybe next week we can come in and do both cheeks. Okay, Mr. Mayor, what do you think? Did we do a half decent job giving these people some good information this morning?
Yes, sir.
Right. The only other thing that I wanted to mention just before we take off here, those people that joined me on the CenturyLink trade, there was a big upgrade by our favorite U.S. bank, Wells Fargo, came out and upgraded the stock. I do see it breaking out here on the chart. So if you do have these calls on the books, just make darn sure to have your open orders working to sell halves on doubles and all that kind of stuff. Because if I'm not mistaken, Wells Fargo called $14 on this thing, which is interesting because that would just be a tag of this underside trend line. And in a market that's actually pretty sanguine, there's not a heck of a lot going on. This is one of the only names that I see that's actually trying to break out here. So just be cognizant of that. Keep your eyes peeled. Hey, maybe we might have some profits to book there as well tomorrow. So, okay, everybody, why don't we leave it at that? Did I get a reading from you, Mr. Mayor? Are you there? Do you feel like, do we have your blessing?
Yes, double time.
Right. Excellent. All right. Thank you so much, Julian. Great report as always. I totally appreciate the unique perspective. A million different ways to skin this cat. I like how Julian has a very unique approach and angle. We, through our developer cycle, we are going to try and slowly bring all his tools on board into the education program. Of course, let's all play from a position of strength. We have to be trading off trading plans, vet those setups, and of course, journal emotions. And if anything, everybody at TRI got a really, really powerful lesson in the power of FOMO and the stupidity of the public, and how we are not supposed to emotionally react to market action, and how we have to follow our plan and follow setups. So, oh, and the other thing I want to mention, brilliant calls here by Julian. Selling into rallies, selling into strength, booking profits like a boss. Very, very impressive. Julian, you have come a long, long way, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you very much.
Let's leave it at that. Have yourselves a great day, everybody. All the best, and bye for now.